All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er update video. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them that Krug sent you. All right, let's do a little update on the 49ers as they get ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals Sunday at Levi's. Niners 14-point favorites here in week 4, trying to run their record to 4-0. All right, is Deebo going to go? Is Jennings going to go? Is Ayuk going to go? It's all about the receivers this week. Deebo Samuel was on the practice field on Friday, but he was only going through physical therapy. And he didn't have his helmet on. Deebo is working through a rib injury, but now he's also got a deep knee bruise, I believe, on the kneecap. And his status for Sunday is very much in doubt. The Niners, by the way, went 3-0 late last season without Deebo and averaged just under 30 points a game, even despite not having him. So I don't think he's going to go. I don't think Deebo's going to play in this one. He's listed officially as questionable, but I think as we get closer to kickoff on Sunday, the Niners are going to go without Deebo. That's my guess. Last week they went without Ayuk. They got a W. This week I think they're going without Deebo. You're not going to force it. They're really deep at wide receiver. They don't need to force it. Deebo's a great player. But I think by the time Sunday rolls around, he's going to be out. Now, the other big question going into Sunday is Jauan Jennings. Jauan Jennings, a terrific receiver, a lot of times plays out of the slot, was not spotted during Friday's practice by the media on hand, and he's dealing with a deep bruise on the shin, which I'm sure is very, very painful. And so I don't think he's going to go. They're listing him as doubtful. So, what does that give him? A 25% chance of playing? He's a tough guy. And if you give him the choice, he'll try to gut it out. Why? Why do it? It's a long season. Why try to gut it out? I think you can beat the Arizona Cardinals and get him ready for the next week. So I'd sit Deebo. I'd sit Jennings. I think they're going to do the exact same thing. Now, Brandon Ayuk did practice for the third day in a row, and he did not have a blue non-contact jersey on. So he was a full participant in practice on Friday. I think he's going to go. I think Ayuk, in fact, Shanahan basically has made it clear that, he's glad to have him back and he expects him to go. I think Ayuk's going to go. So that's good news for the 49ers, that Ayuk's back in the fold. Ayuk is going to have a monster year. And without Deebo and without Jennings, I'd feed him the ball all day and all night and see if he could have a 150-yard day. He's definitely capable of doing that. All right, there are other injuries as well. Dre Greenlaw's dinged up. Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles is dinged up as well. They're both dealing with ankle sprains. The good news is they're not high ankle sprains, they're low ankle sprains. Both those linebackers were on hand for the start of practice on Friday, so I expect they'll probably both go. Greenlaw's listed as questionable, and Flannigan-Fowles is also listed as questionable. So 50-50 whether they'll go. But I expect they're probably going to go. Ambry Thomas, the cornerback, is battling a knee injury. And, Ambry's an interesting player because, man, they really, if he's a full go, they need him. They need all their corners, especially against a Cardinal team that has some big-time wide receivers and some speed at wide receiver. And Ambry's a great athlete. He's got good size. He's got good speed. I don't know the extent of his knee injury, and I don't know if he's going to be able to go or not. But he's a question going into this game. So, and Ayuk, by the way, is not even on the injury report. So there's a very good chance Ayuk's going to go. Now, Kyle Shanahan also indicated that Chris Conley or Willie Snead or both will be elevated for Sunday's game against the Cardinals if Jauan Jennings can't go and if Deebo Samuel can't go. If Deebo and Jennings are going to be made inactive, the Niners are going to promote Chris Conley and Willie Snead. What does that tell you? One, it tells me the 49ers have tremendous depth at wide receiver. Ronnie Bell, big-time player. Tay Martin and Isaiah Winstead, I think, are both good players, younger players, but they're both on the practice squad. But the Niners have two veteran receivers of note on the practice squad that they can activate in Willie Snead and Chris Conley. And I'll tell you, I watch all these practices. I go to almost every practice. I went to every practice in training camp. Willie Snead looks phenomenal. I mean, there's bad, there's good, there's great, and then there's phenomenal. Willie Snead looks amazing right now. I haven't seen him look this good at any point last year as he looked all summer this year. He practices hard, he plays fast. I have total and complete confidence in Willie Snead. And I get the feeling that Brock Purdy does as well. Snead has got ball skills. He's smart. He's a veteran. He can still run. He's got huge hands. He's ready to contribute. And you know what? This is why you have Willie Snead. This is why you have a quality veteran like Snead on the practice squad. For games like this, where your receivers are dinged up and you want to go with somebody who's a real starter, but coming off your practice squad. And that's what Chris Conley and Willie Snead give the 49ers right now. They don't have to lean on Tay Martin. They don't have to lean on Isaiah Winstead if they don't want to. Conley is a big, fast wide receiver who's been in this league for a number of years. But to me, Conley is a well above average NFL receiver. Willie Snead, if he continues to play in the games the way he looks in practice, I don't think the Niners are going to miss a beat. So, I can't wait to see who's out there Sunday, but it won't bother me in the slightest if it's Chris Conley and Willie Snead and not Deebo Samuel and Jauan Jennings. The one other injury update that we have to hit is Elijah Mitchell, again, is dinged up with a knee injury, and he's listed as questionable. Shanahan said the injury happened during Thursday's practice. Mitchell suffers a lot of injuries. He really does. He gets banged up really easily. Now, the Niners have Ty Davis-Price. They have Jordan Mason. They could run Ray McLeod. They've got depth at running back right now. And obviously CMC is having a career year, player of the month in the NFC. He's really playing well. But that's a concern long term is Elijah Mitchell's health. But once again, the Niners are so deep at running back and so deep at wide receiver that if Mitchell can't go, it's not a disaster. You have Jordan Mason and you have TDP and you have Ray and you have McCaffrey and you got guys, you got other guys. But that one was the surprise this week was Elijah Mitchell. And I didn't realize that he injured himself during Thursday's practice. I saw him in the locker room after practice. He was moving around well. It wasn't like he was in any way looking injured. But his status is 50-50 for Sunday's game. So there you have it. There you have the update on the 49ers situation injury-wise going into this football game. Cardinals are a pretty good football team. Niners have some questions. Do you go with Mitchell? Do you go with his backups? Do you go with Jennings? Do you go with the backups? Do you go with Deebo? Do you go with the backups? If I was Kyle Shanahan, I'd play it conservative. You got great depth. You got great depth at wide receiver. You got great depth at running back. Use that depth. Use it. Get those guys right. You get Dallas next week. You sit these guys out. Maybe they're full bore for the Cowboys. The schedule does get tougher. The Browns are going to be are looming. The Eagles are looming. There's a battle with the Bengals later this year. So you don't need to be full bore in week 4 to beat the Arizona Cardinals at home. I'm not saying sit in healthy players, but be smart. Be smart. And I think the Niners will be. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.